Hey, what's up, guys? Mr. Catlin here with a video to help you out with today's NTI drawing. And here is the multi-view of what we're going to put together. I think this one's actually a little bit easier than the one that we did the other day. But we'll see. I don't think it'll take as long for me to go through it. And I've got a screen recorder that actually shows my mouth. Sorry about that on the last one. I didn't realize that until about halfway through uploading it. So this one actually will show where my mouse is. I think that will be helpful. All right. So we're going to jump right into this and draw this thing up and make a little multi-view sketch. All right. So let's start with, I think, the top view. My thought process is build the cube and then like extrude, remove, extrude, remove, extrude, remove, and then hole. That's kind of the way that I'm thinking about piecing this together. So that's I'm going to show you how to do it in my tutorial video. Here we go. Let's jump in. So let's start off with a sketch on the top plane because I'm going to start with the top view of this one. All right, and let's hit N on our keyboard to view that normal, and let's just make ourselves a rectangle. Don't worry about the size right now. Let's type it in from here. It's 3 inches by 1 inch. So maybe we're going to make that. Let's do that with our dimensions. So 3 inch by 1 inch. There we go. And we're going to extrude this sucker a height, which we can see here at 2 inches. So we're going to bring that up 2 inches. So kind of bring this around and we will extrude 2 inches. Oh, there we go, 2 inches. We have our part. All right, so there's kind of the base of our building block here. All right, and let's go back to the drawing and see what we want to do next. Let's see. Let's cut off this chamfer in this corner here. It's an inch by 45-degree chamfer. So let's just do that first. That's not too hard to do. I'll show you how we're going to knock that out. So the chamfer tool's right here. We're going to cut off this top corner, right? So click there. It's already going to do that. Some of you might not have the chamfer type set to distance and angle. You can do that with this drop-down menu here. We want it to be 1 inch in distance and a 45-degree angle. So that's going to come in and down an inch and hit that at a 45. Oh, easy peasy, right? All right, let's move on to the next part. Let's see. I'm going to draw 2 rectangles, one down here, one up here, and then I'll worry about the dimensions here in a second. So let's dive in. Let's do another sketch. This surface, let's view this guy normal. Zoom in a little bit. And a couple of rectangles. We're going to have one down here. Make sure it's not constrained to anything. And then I believe there's another one kind of up in this region that is attached to the sides, right? That's the general shape of what we got going on. Let's find out how big those things are. So let's start with the one on the bottom. We know that from our drawing here that it is 35/100 of an inch from the side and 3 inches. So that 2.65 means that it's also 35/100 from this side and it's also 35/100 up. So it's just 35/100 from the sides and from the bottom. Easy peasy. So that's how I'm going to dimension it. It's just, all right, you are 35/100 from there, 0.35, and your 35/100 from the side, right, 0.35, and you're also the same distance from this side over here, 0.35. Bada bing, bada boom. Got that part knocked out. Let's go up here and let's see how far this one's going to come in. So let's go back to our drawing. This guy is an inch from the bottom, and when we talk about coming over, it's 1.5 inches in. So it's really at the midpoint from left to right, and 1 inch, which I guess is really a midpoint both ways, right? So we could just use the midpoint on both of those if we wanted to, but come down 1 inch and over 1.5 is the way that I'm going to dimension this guy. So let's go back in here. We know that this distance is an inch. Nice. And we know, oh, wrong one. Let's go back to dimensions, sorry. This distance is 1.5, which that one was close, just a little bit off. All right. I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm not going to draw a circle because that's going to come on another part after I extrude this remove. So I'm just going to do that for that sketch. I could probably do it on the same sketch. It would be fine, but that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do a couple of extrusions here. Let's take out this one. Let's remove everything all the way through it all. Don't want any of it to be around, right? It's all gone. Let's do another one. Where did my sketch go? I don't know why it always likes to hide those things, but there it is. We do not want it to come out. We want another removal here. Let's see how far we need to remove this thing. It only comes in 1/2 of an inch. Easy peasy. So the dimensions are 4. So change this to 1/2 inch. 0.5. And that's starting to look pretty darn close to what is on our drawing, y'all. Last thing, we got our circle here that's going to go all the way through, so we don't have to worry about drilling any holes. We can just do a regular old circle, 1/2 inch diameter, 75 hundredths out, and 1.5 from the bottom. That's how I'm going to roll with it. So 75 hundredths in, 1.5 from the bottom. All right. So let's sketch. Not this surface, this surface. So view normal. Zoom in nice and good. And let's draw that 0.5. We know that it is dimensioned 75 hundredths from the side. And from the bottom, it's 1.5. So boom, boom, 1.5. And there we go. Sketch done. And let's drill the hole through it, right? So you might have to either like take this plane, which is the front, right? You might have to make that go away. And you might want to take that sketch out of the way too from before, because you got to get in here and make sure you select this part when you do your extrusion, right? So I'm going to extrude and remove this, remove all the way through, and it's gone. All right, so there's our part. I believe that's everything, right? I think you probably could have done that without this video. I'm hoping that some of you were able to do this without the video, but that appears to be everything. But let's see if it matches up with the drawing here as I draw it from the Part Studio, part number 2. All right, so I'll walk you through that as well. So we're going to add new drawing, custom template without any borders or title block. We're just going to keep this simple. Okay, some of you that have been putting your title block, totally fine. I know that y'all made those custom ones with Mr. Potts. That's totally cool. All right, so mine's Part Studio 2. Yours should be probably 1, whenever you name your parts. Let's bring it in. We got a front view, bottom left, come up, top, and then let's click and bring over to our side view, and then we'll get our isometric. I am going to do something a little different with this one that I didn't with the last one. Let's click on this one. Oh, get out of go back. Let me get out of the dimensioning. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to right click on this one, and I like to see the shaded view. It gives it a little bit more of a cool look. All right, but I am going to add my hidden lines to each one when I right click and do so. Hidden lines, would like to see those. There we go. All right, showing off all those hidden lines. Make sure you get in there and do all your dimensions, which I'm not going to walk through and do every single one of them like I did the last video. I think that's pretty easy. You can just make it look like the drawing. Right now, there is one thing. I don't know if you noticed, my lines are a little bit bolder than the dimension lines. I kind of like that. I think it gets confusing when all of the lines are the same thickness. So easy way to do that. If you come over here to the wrench, you can click on views. I believe it's this one. Yes. So the visible edges, I think I brought that up to this 6/10 of a millimeter. Makes it a little bit thicker. That way, when you do your dimension lines, like how far is it from here to here, your dimension lines are not as thick as the bold out of the actual surface of the shape, and it's not as confusing, I think. And I think it looks good. So feel free to play around with that. You don't have to if you don't want to, but make sure that you are doing all of the dimensions that you see in the drawing. Oh yeah, the chamfer here. If you're not sure how to do the chamfer, I had to look up that one, but it's pretty easy. The little drop down here, you've actually got a chamfer measurement, which I believe is right here. And you can just click on that angle, and you should be able to get chamfer. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Maybe it's there to there. Oh, how did I get that from before? Going back to it. Oh, maybe because I have this open. I bet that's what it is. All right, let's try that again. No. Well, we're in this video. No, don't want that. Every time I hit escape, it does that. Okay. Well, you don't have to have the chamfer on there. But I did figure out a way to do it before. I think it was this chamfer one. But for some reason, it's being a little silly with me right now and not wanting to work. Interesting. Well, if you can figure out how to make it work, I don't know if I did. No. Well, not a big deal. Thought I'd show you how I did that, but I've apparently forgotten how I did that and made it happen. So get your regular dimensions. Don't forget to get your leader lines for your diameters, all the stuff that goes along with that. Try to stack it inside out like you see in this one here. Now I'm just kind of curious how I made that work, but I don't know. Play around with that. You might be able to figure it out on your own. It's not a make or break your grade or anything. And that's all I got for the video. Make yours look like this. Don't forget to put a little note with your name on the side, and you should be good for the submission. Hope you guys have enjoyed your week of snow and 1 day work week at school. Looks like we'll get back to work on Monday, and E-Day's coming up, so we got a lot going on. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you before too long.